virtual people. Welcome to episode 68 of VCR Redux. We take your favorite franchises out of the analog era and bring them back to 2022. I'm your host, pop culture punk Chris Stiles, joined as always by my co-host with the most, film professor Ian Klink.
Cowabunga, everybody.
And we have two radical guests on the show tonight. First up, of course, our own honorary third host from Rick Barth and the Line. Oh, Mickey, you're so fine. Mickey Torres is on the show.
What's up, everyone?
And rounding out this righteous crew, he's the filmmaking tour de force behind Sodomaniac and Girls Just Want to Have Blood. His newest film, High Fear the Streets Are Watching, is playing in festivals now. I have a hard time not calling him Tony Goggles, but Anthony Catanese is on the show.
Hey! How you doing? Nice to be here. Nice to be here.
Thank you so much for coming on, my man. We are here today to find the perfect wave, take some field trips to the zoo, and spend 6 weeks in the bathroom, because what this world needs is Summer School 2, Cruel Detentions. But before we can write to the president of Cool Dude Inc., we need to talk about how summer school came into our lives and what we love about it. And for everyone watching the live chat, that means you too. How did you discover summer school? We talking VHS, Laserdisc, cable, theaters? Hit us up in the live chat and let us know. So, Tony, do you remember the first time you watched Summer School?
Yeah. So my aunt had like a bootleg copy of it. So like I'd go to she was like an artist, like a ceramics person. So she had like a studio, and in the back she had a TV where I'd sit. We had a bootleg VHS with that and RoboCop on it.
Yes.
Oh, the 1987 like double feature dream team.
I'm like 7 years old, so I'm like watching Summer School and RoboCop like back to back every time.
We seriously, I was talking about this. We were so lucky as kids to be in the era that we were. There would be like two movies on one tape that would both change your life. Seriously. That's the way I feel about Summer School and
you can
RoboCop.
Blame our generation for Woodstock 99 and we'll gladly take it. But you know what? We had the awesome EP mode of VHS rips. All right.
You know something? To be fair, I think we're all a hair young to be blamed for Woodstock 99. I don't know. I was 15 when it happened. I can't
make it. Mickey's like 105. Like whatever. Like
come on. That's cold. That's just cold.
No, I'm
probably
cold-blooded.
We probably bought Korn CDs that made them so popular they got asked to play. So we wanted to blame. I never once
Mickey was the sole person buying Limp Bizkit and Kid Rock CDs.
Right.
Mickey, did you have Korn?
Well, I mean, Adidas. Adidas was the song, man. It's like
Mickey is here for the nookie. The what? The nookie.
Oh my God, I'm way too stoned and lazy. I did it all for the cookie.
In all seriousness, I mean, like that was like also like I think like like when they first came out with DVDs, they tried to do that whole like 2-on-1 disc kind of thing, like kind of. So you would have the back and the front of the DVD with like if it was a two-parter, or sometimes you would get like two movies that are kind of similar.
I remember this.
No,
you don't remember that, Chris?
They did the front. Oh,
absolutely, the flipper disc. Yeah, it was like JFK was a flipper disc because it was like too long at the time, or so. A lot of movies were on flipper discs when they first came out. Robin Hood was on a fucking flipper disc. It's not even that long of a movie.
No, but they also had like two different movies on like one side had one movie.
Oh
and
yeah.
The other side,
Yeah, the other side has the Sandlot 2, which no one in their right mind wants to buy. But it's sitting there in the $5 bin with the Sandlot 1.
Shots fired to David Mickey Evans right there.
I'm sorry. It makes Caddyshack 2 look like Citizen fucking Kane.
Caddyshack is Citizen Kane. Correct your statement, sir.
And I know you teach both equally in your fucking film classes.
That's right.
I almost like Caddyshack 2 better than Caddyshack 1.
Oh, we do.
This is why Tony's on our show. Thank you.
Thank you. It's because I grew up with Caddyshack 2, okay? It was always, like, I knew Caddyshack, but as a kid, Caddyshack 2 was on HBO nonstop.
Exactly.
And I don't know what's fucking good. I'm a fucking kid, you know what I mean? So,
dude, Jackie Mason, while he's no Ronnie Dangerfield, he's amazing at Caddyshack.
Oh yeah,
he is.
For sure.
Like I still call people Fonza Noons to this day because of Jackie Mason. And that
a little goes here, a little goes there.
And the theme song was so good. theme song.
Oh yeah,
I'm
dude, Kenny
all the way.
Loggins off his ass, dude.
I'm
Nobody's fool.
going
Yeah.
all the way.
That's
Sooner
the
or
best.
later, Mickey's gonna love
I'll
somebody.
tell you what, not to derail everything into Caddyshack land, but this is proof that the American public does have some taste. Caddyshack 2 itself on DVD is probably like out of print or something, but the soundtrack is like a rare item, and original pressings of it go for like $75 at least on eBay.
That's impressive.
Wow.
Yeah. The rarer the find, the better. But speaking of rare finds, we're here to talk about Summer School. So Mickey, do you remember the first time you watched Carl Reiner's masterpiece? That is
Summer School.
That's a brave statement.
Yeah, I
A
all
brave
the
statement
movies-
that it's a masterpiece?
That this is Carl Reiner's masterpiece. That
I
is
didn't
a
say it's
brave
the
statement.
Carl Reiner masterpiece. I said it's a Carl. Well, you know what I
It's
mean.
one of his many masterpieces.
One of them. Thank you.
I
stand
rented
corrected.
this one. I rented this one
It's a solid rental choice.
As a
Yeah,
kid
and-
or as
yeah.
an adult?
as a kid.
Okay.
Yeah, and
So
I saw it on,
how old is Mickey renting this?
and I
We're
saw it
talking
on
like
HBO. too.
88 when it first hits video.
Probably so. I mean, like I would peruse the video stores all the time, and the cover just like like Summer School. To be honest, I thought it was like kind of like a spring break movie or some shit like that. I was gonna see a lot of like boobs and stuff like that. I was like, yeah, we're
No,
going
sir.
we're going to Summer School, baby. Let's get it.
It's what it should have kind of been for the era that it came out. I can't
Right?
lie to you. I was in the same boat as that. We'll talk about that.
Because I didn't even know like Mark Harmon wasn't like anybody on my radar. And then I knew Kirstie Alley vaguely, I think.
Like from Cheers.
Yeah, from
Yeah.
Cheers. But like I also I don't know. She's not on the cover really. So like it's like I didn't think of it. So like I was like, yeah, whatever. This is gonna be a good movie.
There's a
And then
guy in a Hawaiian shirt and a dog wearing sunglasses.
Why
What's
is-
not
I
to
thought that
love?
was going to be a titty movie.
Yeah. I
I
thought
was
Hey,
thinking a lot
yeah,
of tits in it. It's got Mark Harmon and a dog on it.
But think about it. This is the Porky's era. This is
Yeah.
I thought he used the dog
Yeah,
as
this
getting
is the,
girls.
Vice Academy era, Stewardess Academy era. This is the like summer job. You ever see the poster to a movie called Summer Job? It's literally the logo of the movie on a printed on like a wife beater crop top that like a very chesty girl is wearing. Like
I'm
they
putting that on my
actually,
watch list right now.
it's on the watch list. There you
Are you
go.
talking about
It's not a bad
Meatballs?
movie.
Are you talking about
What?
Meatballs 3?
No. I'm talking about not Meatballs 3. Meatballs I Summer Job with Patrick Dempsey.
Oh,
Man, we're
okay,
really
okay.
derailing this. But anyway, just look at that cover because that's what you would expect from Summer School at that time, Private Resort, like movies like that.
I just saw summer in the title, and I'm sitting there going like,
Yeah.
all right, it's gonna be a
bikinis, summer.
yeah.
It's
we're
a
going to-
no-brainer, right?
We're going to
It's the
California on the
80s.
beach.
Yeah.
Well, even Summer Rental had nudity in it. That's
Oh,
a
yeah,
John
totally.
Candy. That's a
Yeah.
John
Yeah.
Candy movie. So
Yeah, some gratuitous nudity in that one.
Summer
So anyway,
School did have that
Delightful,
movie.
so.
I remember renting it, and then I remember like watching the shit out of it on HBO. Like every time it was on, I was watching that movie.
Right on. Solid way to come into the world of Summer School. Ian, where, when, and how did this movie hit you?
So, ironically, right, to make my sister feel better because she had to go to summer school, I actually had to go to summer school one summer. And on a day off from summer school, guess what movie they played on HBO?
Of course.
Summer School. And so, ironically, I was in summer school when summer school played. So I very much remember watching summer school.
Now, what grade are you in, like, at this time?
Oh, third, fourth grade, somewhere in there.
Okay,
So I mean,
okay.
it's,
So this was just to make your sister like be okay with
If-
summer
yep,
school. You're
yep.
Like, oh, I guess I'll go too. Like you just offered
No,
that
I
up?
didn't. No, I didn't. My parents made me go to summer school so she wouldn't feel bad.
This is like that time
Mama
my
Klink.
mom. This is like the time my mom made me go to CCD, and I was like,
Yeah, so which was fun because I mean I'll be honest, I wasn't bad. I still remember my teacher who would read from like Mad Magazine and literally would have us play Oregon Trail like all day long. So like I actually when people say Oregon Trail, I automatically think of summer school, which is kind of funny. But
Oh my God.
But I
love
do
it.
remember- what? Go ahead.
I was gonna say Mama Klink was tough but fair, and I
She was
respect that.
tough but fair. And so so I remember coming home and watching Summer School, and of course, the Texas Chainsaw, part of the movie is what I always remember because we were we're horror kids, that was, so I vividly remember that, and it's to this day whenever I see Mark Harmon, it's always, when you associate an actor with some movie, I'm always like SCIS. Oh yeah, the Summer School Mark Harmon.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wait, Wyatt Earp, that Summer School Mark Harmon.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what else he does.
Summer School,
Yeah.
He could become Spielberg's new go-to guy, and he's still gonna be like, oh yeah, Summer School, Mark Harmon.
Yeah, Summer School Mark Harmon.
Shoot.
That should be his official business card.
And
Summer School Mark Harmon.
Kirstie Alley for me is Loverboy and this.
Oh yeah.
But why is she not on the
talking?
cover? Yeah, I think
Luke Who's talking as well. But like, I mean, like as far as like, I love Luke Who's talking, but I'm just saying like, of like my like crush on Kirstie Alley.
Oh, okay. All right.
Those I go to those.
I forgot
movies.
I was talking to Mac Daddy Mickey Torres here.
But why is she not on the cover? Like, of all the people, she should be on the cover. I mean, this is like height of Cheers. That would have gotten that VHS off the shelves like no other at the rentals.
Like her. I mean, I think she was more known than Mark Harmon.
But at the same time, this was in an era where it was rare for people to cross over from TV to film. That had still only been done like once at that point. Like Michael J. Fox, and even still, some people were like, "Well, he's a TV actor." Still, like Sean Penn believed when they're making Casualties of War, which I love. Brilliant movie. Any rate, again, getting back to fucking Summer School. So I will.
Forget it. Just throw Summer School out. All right, nobody's here for Summer School. Like,
God damn it! I've been waiting for Summer School all summer long.
He really has, folks. He's not exaggerating this.
I wanted to do this one in June. Damn it! But I will get to
That's because you are Mark Harmon in Summer School. That is you, Chris.
He needs the visor.
I need the visor
and the dog.
I need a serious amount of tan. I need to get very, very tan. So I will get into my first time falling in love with this movie. But I do want to touch on the live chat first. I see some familiar names in there. Alex Bonafonte, Gold's Code. Who else in the chat? A long story short, new name. Thanks for tuning in. Mike Riffraff, Mashup Genius. Thank you so much, Jeremy Ledford of Nerdcore. What are the folks saying about Summer School? Gold's Code again. He wanted to be on this episode. We're sorry we couldn't get you on, buddy. We love having you on the VCR, and we'll have you back very soon. Alex Bonafonte, I'm starting to think I was abandoned in theaters for many summer days because I saw this in the theater. Oh, I'm so jealous. Anytime we do one of these movies and someone's like, I saw it in a theater, I just like, to see this with like a fresh audience. And because like if we even get to see any of these movies now, it's not the same thing. You're seeing with people who've seen them for 30 years and know every beat, but to see like these jokes hit a fresh audience for the first time would have just been
you ever been seeing a movie in the theater though where you're the only one laughing and everybody else is just dead silent?
Oh yeah, Schindler's List.
Pootie Tang.
Pootie Tang. I seriously, anybody who knows me knows I love the Medea movies. I don't care what anybody says. I will go to the theater to see a Medea movie. That Medea says everything we need to hear.
That's it. We're gonna do a Medea episode on VCR Redux. It's gonna be called Medea Goes to the Bathroom.
I'm fine with it.
There's 5 million Medea.
I'll still go to the theater.
I think you're okay with not seeing another Medea movie ever again.
That's what we need. One more Medea movie.
The audacity of you. You want Medea Goes Summer School.
To be a little off track, but Lionsgate as a studio had 2 things that made them money for like their first 15 years of like operation. It was the Saw franchise and the Medea film.
And Medea movies.
Every single other release they ever made that lost money, but those all made enough money to keep the fucking doors open.
Can you hear that meeting? That meeting, like, oh damn, we've fucking lost money on this one again. Well, God damn it, better call Tyler Perry up. We need another Medea.
Medea's going to Vegas, guys. I swear, it's what we need.
You know, get those Saw guys out again.
First
off, a crossover.
Medea goes to Saw.
They should have actually. That's actually a great idea. But forget you all. If they made an Ernest Meets Medea movie, you would be the first in line to go see it and shut up if you deny
First of all, I've been trying to think of the ultimate clever.
You bastard, Mickey, you would too.
I've been trying to think of the ultimate clever Pee-wee and Ernest buddy cop movie mashup, and I just got nothing. But someday I'm gonna do it, and it's gonna be brilliant, and then I'll retire from mashing up forever. But at any rate, to get things out of
You
Medea
can do
land
a
and Ernest
Pee-wee.
land.
Pee-wee
Say again?
starts a private investigation company, right? Ernest
Oh, here we
witnesses a
go.
murder, so now they have to work together to solve it.
Yes.
See, I'm sold right there.
Because
This is why I
Pee-wee can
love
do
you.
whatever he wants, you know what I mean? And
That's
Ernest
right.
can do whatever he wants. They always have different jobs.
That's true.
So Ernest witnesses a crime. Pee-wee has to, and then Pee-wee's a detective. He hires they put on to do it.
The PI Pee-wee, it's
Yeah.
fucking
PI
perfect. This
Pee-wee.
is why I love Tony
Pee-wee
Goggles. I mean, like
PI.
I could paint you into any troublesome corner creatively, and you
Pee-wee
can always
PI.
fucking write your way out.
Oh yeah.
You're a genius, sir. I'm
thank
not
you.
worthy.
Pee-wee
But anyway,
private
getting back to
dicks.
summer school and the live chat as well.
Private dicks.
Sean Gold of Gold's Code says, but those films didn't have Chainsaw or Dave, who goes to summer school in 3rd grade. Ian's story made me wish for a snake bite on the trail.
Yeah.
As cold as ice, the hell have no fury like Sean Gold. I also see Angie Saunders in the live chat, another mashup genius. Thank you so much for tuning in, Angie. So my first time watching Summer School, it's 16 minutes into the episode, rarity for us. But my first time watching Summer School, I was probably 4 or 5. I was lucky that my old man was addicted to VHS tapes, and he just like stockpile. He would just bring home tape after tape after tape after tape. And I just saw this tape. I didn't even see the cover. I just saw that sweet, beautiful khaki Paramount, khaki and purple sticker. And I said, Summer School. This seems like this could be like cool teenagers like movie. Let's check it out. And I distinctly
Probably
remember
thought the same
watching
thing
it.
that I thought.
I watched it by myself in my living room, and I got scared at a couple of moments that it was going to become like a horror movie. I was like, oh no, this is one of those hacking up teenager movies, you know? And I was like, at that point, I was batting about 500 for horror, right? Half the shit I could watch and I loved it, like Nightmare on Elm Street and like, you know, some Friday the 13th movies. And then half the shit scared the fucking bejesus out of me, like Carrie and Christine and American Werewolf in London. So I was like nervous, like when they started doing like the gore scenes. But then when I realized like, oh man, they just did like, these guys are the coolest guys ever. And like, honestly, that was as instrumental in like kickstarting my love of horror as any horror film that I've ever seen. Like just seeing Chainsaw and Dave, and like, mind you, this is before Bill and Ted. This is before Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah.
This is before Wayne and Garth. It was fucking Chainsaw.
That's a
and
good
Dave.
point.
Yeah.
It
These
was,
dudes are the real fucking deal, man. They run away with this whole movie. Like, and Mark Harmon's a very capable lead. But I mean, fucking shout out to Gary Riley and Dean Cameron, because they just have such a great pairing.
Mhm.
I'm shocked that they didn't do more movies together after this. Like they could have been like a Corey's kind of thing.
Yeah,
You
we
know?
all saw how great that turned out.
Well, I'm just saying. Yeah,
So
I mean,
they gave
that
us
would
some
be-
good movies. They gave us some good movies.
Yeah, Hamster and Fell Dog definitely for all their ups and
That
dons in life. They did
Hamster
give
and
us some
Fell
sweet
Dog.
flicks.
But Chris, I agree with
You're
you
so
about,
proud of yourself for saying that. That's what
I agree with
Well-
you that about the kickstarting of horror though. Like those scenes, those are my favorite scenes in a movie as a kid. I'd watch the whole that and the beach scene. But yeah, like that really got me into horror and like seeing how they did that.
Oh, for
would
real.
just
I don't
watch
think
that
I
scene over and
saw.
over again.
I don't think I saw Texas Chainsaw until after this.
Same
Oh,
here.
do.
same,
Yeah.
same.
This movie put me on a mission to see Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And as soon as I could, I was like, wow, this is amazing. And then that kind of like, I started just deep diving all the Friday 13th and all that stuff. I mean, like I was so obsessed with Chainsaw and Dave that like I would like quote their shit at school and kids would be like, what the fuck are you talking about? I'm like, oh, well, you're idiots. Obviously cinematic fucking idiots because you haven't seen the greatest movie ever made. But yeah, it was just one of those movies that like you'd watch on a regular rotation, you know, a couple times a year or whatever. You definitely every summer. But it just became like, you know, an instant obsession.
Well, and I know we talked about this before. I mean, they would play Summer School almost all the time because, again, HBO during the day had to have some pretty PG family-related stuff because the kids were watching.
Yeah.
You could, and it wasn't like now where you have like 10 HBOs and you can just tune in what you want. It was one HBO from 8 to 5. They played kid-friendly stuff. So Summer School is absolutely on that rotation.
And ironically written by Jeff Franklin, who had written Just One of the Guys,
Full
and who would
House?
go on to be the creator of Full House. Yes, exactly. So he's definitely always worked in a mostly kid-friendly world. Even Just One of the Guys, you take out the boob scene and it's a total kid-friendly movie.
Yeah.
And maybe some of the crotch grabbing and
Yeah, the
Playboys on
brothers a
walls,
little.
whatever.
But-
It's not,
It's a
This is-
teen movie.
but-
It's a teen
but-
movie.
If you guys know this though, HBO did do some censoring.
yes.
There
Oh.
is a version of Just One of the Guys out there without the nudity,
Yeah,
and they
we
did
talked
play
about
it.
that,
They did
yeah.
play it on HBO. So I mean, like
Okay.
they did that.
Wow, interesting. The daytime version of Just One of the
Yeah,
Guys.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
they
after
sold
9
that.
p.m. Yeah, you're right.
But
They
and it
would
was
probably-
also because they would also do that. That would be also the version that they would sell to TV to edit up.
Right.
Was there
that's
any
true.
extra scenes in the edited version? Like, did they add something to take up the time?
Some did. I mean, I know like Halloween when it played on TV, they added a
Mhm.
few scenes.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
famous
I know,
TV
like
cut.
National Lampoon's Vacation, they added different scenes.
Yeah,
Well,
they
a lot of
It's off
times, you
TV.
know, I often reference Teen Wolf as like a really interesting example of what I call the TV scenes. And I know Clifford from 1994 with
Martin Short.
fucking Martin Short
Martin
and
Short,
Charles Grodin.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
apparently
That's
TV
a
cut-
great movie. All right, forget summer school. We're talking about Clifford for the rest of the show.
Well, just with TV cuts, and I'll get to I'll tie it all back
Don't
into
give me that
Summer
look,
School.
Mickey. You love Clifford. Don't act like you don't.
But Teen Wolf has like a very
Yes.
pivotal story scene that's only in the TV version when it's on like TBS or like any of these commercials. It's not on HBO. It's on like commercial, channels with commercials. And it's like after the dance in Teen Wolf, he like talks to his dad on the porch and says
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Dad, I could have really hurt this guy. And like, I don't think I should be the wolf anymore. And his dad's like, well, you're probably right. And blah, blah, blah. And the way the movie plays every other time you watch it, he just like all of a sudden after the dance, he's like, no more wolf. Like, what? Okay. I guess
Yeah.
that's the arc or whatever. Still a great fucking movie. But anyway, getting back to Summer School, you mentioned that
We're
back
done
in the
with
day
summer
there would have
school.
been nudity and there would have been all this stuff
Yeah.
in Summer School, especially when you invent a great stereotype in Anna Maria Mazzarelli, the beautiful
yeah.
foreign exchange student.
Oh,
And in
Yeah.
the script, and they shot it on the beach, she's supposed to completely, full topless reveal.
Mhm.
And they Dean Cameron said that was the day that all the Paramount executives decided to show up to check out
Oh.
filming and be on set that day. And that Carl Reiner was like, conscious of that and respectful. He's like pushed them all back, like, no, you guys go back across the street, blah, 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 far away. And he said, Dean Cameron's like, they're all sitting there with fucking binoculars,
Oh
like, I
my
gotta get a
God.
glimpse of these things. Like, it's like
In
what
Hollywood,
a
I don't
different
believe it.
fucking time.
Yeah.
What a
Unbelievable.
That's
different
when
time.
Kelly Jo Minter's character just goes like, "Hey, go girl."
yeah.
See the Riviera?
And they're
You
just like,
know, which was
"Oh,
probably
oh."
designed to be a TV edit version at the time. They're probably like,
Yeah.
oh, we'll do this for TV.
Right.
But they were smart to kind of keep that in the main part of the movie. There's so many things about this movie that are really interesting to me. Like, this harkens back to a time when you could have like a big budget studio comedy A-level movie that didn't star a cast member from Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
Like most of them even back then did. Now like comedies like don't exist unless like there's someone from Saturday Night Live in the movie almost. It's kind of crazy.
It's hard to do a comedy nowadays. I mean, it you either get in trouble for the
Yeah,
jokes
the
or it
PC.
doesn't land. I mean,
Mhm.
Jamie Foxx just did an interview where there's a movie from 2016 that him and Jeremy Piven did, but it got locked
Oh.
up, and it's never been shown. And the reason he says is because studios are too afraid of it. Like it's too controversial.
You don't think it's because Jeremy Piven?
Well, that's what he said. He's like Jeremy Piven is in it, so the
he, like, raped
studio's
people
locked.
and stuff.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like that, Robert Downey Jr.
Oh
I guess.
Jesus, is that true? Fucking, I didn't know that about Jeremy Piven. Fuck.
Oh yeah, he was on the cusp of when everyone was getting canceled. Like he was one of the first ones.
Man.
He
Yeah,
was a
Yeah.
sexual
Damn it.
abuser.
Oh,
That's how he got
fuck,
his hair
that's-
back. Remember, he was bald and he got his hair back.
I always wanted to know how the fuck he did that. Share that secret with me,
Yeah.
please.
but it's hard.
Um,
But it's hard. It's hard to do a comedy. I mean, and when they do, The Hangover. That's why it was such a kind of a big hit when The Hangover came out.
Oh,
because,
not to be a fucking prick or anything, but to me, The Hangover will never be a bachelor party. It's just a fucking watered
No,
down,
but it's a
diet
great
sugarless
movie.
caffeine.
Yeah, it's a great movie,
It's a
man.
great movie though.
And the first one was like a nice surprise hit. No one knew
Yeah,
what they were getting into.
the second one was just like
Second and third one garbage.
Yeah, those are like redone over. Like
But the first one was a nice surprise.
But the first one was like, man, what the hell? It was awesome. I saw that in the theaters.
Yeah, me too. Where'd this come from?
Yeah,
but
exactly.
That's another problem with comedies is they don't make them because most people won't see a comedy unless they know a star in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, that's a huge part of it.
Has to be like horror movies. Nobody gives a shit who's in it. You know what I mean?
That's the
But, like,
one thing.
comedies-
Horror is the only genre that they don't care who the actors are in
Right.
the movie. The only genre. Every other genre, action, drama, fucking comedy.
That's
musical,
why like a
who's
movie.
who's in it?
That's why a movie like Summer School, you didn't know anybody, and it was like I guess you knew Kirstie Alley, but you didn't. That wasn't really known. She wasn't really like advertiser that I remember or whatever it could be. At least in the case of like I didn't see it in the theater, so I didn't see the trailers. But you didn't like Mark Harmon's on the cover, and you didn't know who Mark Harmon was. At least I didn't know.
Yeah, wasn't he like St. Elsewhere? Was that his big thing?
Yeah,
that's right.
Something. Because my aunt was in love with him. That's why she had
him. He was like sexiest man of the year or something right around the time of this movie.
Chicago Hope was after that, I think.
Oh yeah, way after that.
Yeah,
so it was probably
St. Elsewhere. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Moonlighting. I think
was he Moonlighting?
Around this time. He was on Moonlighting too. Yeah.
That was Bruce
yeah.
Willis.
No, he wasn't the star of Moonlighting, but he was on it.
Yeah.
I don't remember him in Moonlighting, but in any event, the thing is that this movie is like so good just based on the fact that there were no real stars. I feel like you're watching this, and then later on when you watch this movie again now, you pretty much know everybody now you're like, oh, this is like first time I saw this person and the first time I saw that person.
Yeah, first time I saw Courtney Thorne-Smith, first time I saw
Courtney
Kelly Jo
Thorne-Smith,
Minter,
exactly.
First time I saw Dean Cameron, first time I noticed Gary Riley, even though he was in Back to the Future.
And for me, I didn't see Courtney Thorne-Smith again until like
Melrose Place.
And I was like, Summer School.
Yeah, Nerds 2. Yeah, exactly.
I was like, I was like,
Nerds 2. That's
Nerds II for me, for her, yeah.
Yeah.
But that was like the same year as Summer School. So from those movies, it was like until Melrose Place that you would kind of like see her again.
I got to give him credit, and because he's never discussed. When you think of great directors, nobody ever says Carl Reiner, and I understand why. It's not like Carl Reiner's like an auteur or anything like that, but this guy did some stuff. I mean, just you started on Dick Van Dyke, and worked his way up. And I mean, the movies he did, like, oh God, and Summer Rental and Summer School, and Carl Reiner did some great films.
Did he do Pretty Woman?
That's Gary Marshall.
Gary Marshall.
I always get those guys confused.
But The Jerk.
I can see that.
The Jerk.
Oh yeah, The Jerk
was an awesome movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Classic movies.
Yeah, so Carl Reiner's, I mean, like a lot of people know Rob Reiner more as a director than Carl Reiner, but that guy's still going. He's still alive. I mean,
which is funny, I remember when I moderated a summer school panel, one of the first Q&A panels I ever moderated, and they were all talking about Carl Reiner, and he would be like, oh yeah, he'd be telling these stories like, oh, my friend Mel, blah blah blah. Like, oh my God, he's talking about Mel Brooks. They'd be like, oh yeah, and my friend Dick comes in and he says, well, he's like, oh my God, he's talking about Dick Van Dyke. Like everything that like falls out of this guy's mouth is just like legendary shit. And he's not name dropping. What the fuck would he care to do that? Like he's the director of this movie. Everyone already eating out the palm of his hand.
Did he pass away?
He passed away recently. Yeah.
Carl Reiner did pass away.
Carl Reiner, yeah, just like literally a year or 2 or 3 ago.
Yeah. But a great,
Mark Harmon.
Just
does Mark Harmon still talk about this movie? Have you heard any?
He came back and did an audio commentary with Carl Reiner on like the 2007 DVD or something, whatever it was.
That was probably the last time.
Probably the last time I talked about
was that before he did NCIS?
I think
probably around the early days of that. I feel like he's been doing NCIS forever because it's just like.
That show's been off like
I feel like it's got to be one of the easiest paychecks in like the acting biz. Not to like say that they're not working hard or anything, but like, you're gonna show up in a blazer and like you take off your sunglasses and like a crime gets solved. And, it is what it is. Like it seems like a easy job.
It is true. If you're on a show like that, you just shut up and take it. Like you just feel like, I'm jumping a shark today.
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah, you're not like
just jump the shark. Fonzie got it.
It's a steady income. A steady income.
Right. Yeah, no, literally. Like, and again, to be on a show like that where it's You know, because the NCIS and all these shows, they are literally the baby boomers' background TV show. Like they'll just play it and it'll just loop, and they don't care. Like they just don't care.
It's on the channel that I call the old person's channel, the old people's channel, CBS. Like
it's so true.
All the grandmas and
true.
all everyone are watching. Like, oh, I gotta watch that Survivor. Gotta watch that NCIS. Gotta watch
my 60 minutes.
NCIS.
Big Brother's on.
This is my statement for the year. NCIS is the new Matlock. There it is.
Boom! Holy fuck!
It's true.
It's like murder. It's
great. I'll second that. I'll second.
Murder She Wrote.
Yeah.
You heard it here, folks.
Columbo.
Oh, wait a minute. That's an insult to Columbo.
VCR Redux.
Hashtag shots fucking fired. I love it. Jesus Christ. So it is about pitch time. I do want to acknowledge again some of the other names in the chat. If I missed, I see Matt Sharp's in there as well. Mashup Genius, Stephen Pattinson. Thank you guys both so much for tuning in. So it's pitch time, right? I honestly feel like of all the movies,
this is hard.
Of all the movies we've fucking trotted out on VCR Redux, this is like one of the most impossible ones to sequelize, right?
There's the only thing that I can think of is Chainsaw and Dave.
Right? Well, that's where my mind goes too. But I was talking about this today, and my roommate was like, I fucking dare you to pitch me any version of this with original characters that doesn't make me sad. Because it's been 35 fucking years. He's like, even the people that look great, like half the cast looks amazing. Like Shawnee Smith looks better now than she did then.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Oh God, I love.
And then we didn't know Shawnee Smith again until Saw.
Oh no, fuck you, The Blob.
Yeah.
Oh, and the stand. Yeah.
The stand.
Did you just nod old man breathe out on The Blob? You did.
It's a okay movie.
Dude, one of the greatest remakes of all fucking time. It's The Blob, The Thing, and The Fly. That's like it.
All right, cut his camera feed.
I mean, it's all right. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not saying it's bad.
I mean it. Cut his please. Like I'm
You're
done
talking
with
about the.
Oh my God.
Yeah, one of the greatest remakes ever.
I like the Dawn of the Dead remake.
Take your shit and get out of here.
Shots fired. Ian is not fucking around today. It's like Jaws 3 for Ian. This time it's personal.
It's such a good movie.
Take it from the same guy that always quotes The English Patient.
Oh, shots returned. I'm loving this volley of back and forth.
Listen. What's gonna happen? All right. In about 20 years. All right. And F you, Mickey, because in 20 years, that movie is gonna resurge like a freaking comet.
The English Patient?
And you're gonna be like, oh, I went to the theater to see it with this girlfriend and we were
No, I would never take a girl to go see English Patient. She would be sleeping before the credits, before the first scene started.
Such a beautiful film. My gosh, that movie is like a cheese and cracker just smorgasbord of just beauty. Like I
saw it in the theater and I fell asleep.
What?
Thank you, Tony.
God.
I've seen the future. And let me tell you a little something about 20 years from now. 20 years from now, summer school is going to be atop the Mount Rushmore of cinema history.
Yeah.
And it won't even wipe its ass with The English Patient because it's too pretentious. It'll use Speed 2 cruise control for that.
In all seriousness, this movie, you could show this movie to a kid now, and I think they would enjoy this movie.
Right.
That's literally that is our pitch. Just re-release it in theaters. That's it.
Don't change a single frame.
Does the sequel have to have the original cast in it, or can it just be a sequel?
You're free to pitch whatever you want.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's no rules here. We're all playing pretend, you know?
Yeah.
But
the idea is just
you can do like American Pie. You can make a whole fucking thing like Summer School Presents.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We saw what happened
and
there.
Then it's like you can just do so many different movies with Summer School.
We want a good sequel.
Summer School 2099 in space. You know what I mean? Like, you could even do with almost the original
fourth
cast, like, they have to learn how to use like computers or something, like some kind of new technology where kids have to teach them. Like now they, you know what I mean? Or they're.
You could have an adult summer school.
Right. That is actually interesting if you think about this, okay, so here's an idea that just came to Tony, your thing just reminded me, right? And what I talked about earlier. Do you know how cool kids would find, and I really do mean this, if they actually had an Apple II computer and played Oregon Trail? Now you think that these kids they'd be like, oh, this is stupid. They won't. I've watched it. I've actually watched these kids today because it's a 90s nostalgia thing.
Yeah.
They would find it so radical to actually do that. So
is that your pitch? It's an hour and a half of watching kids play Oregon Trail.
No, but I think that is the scene. So if you have a pitch, if you have a sequel to Summer School, first off, I accept nothing without Mark Harmon. That's just
Okay.
It
Now,
can't
first,
be called Summer School without Mark
good
Harmon.
point, because that's your first roadblock, right? Mark Harmon is fucking shoop. He's not going to do more than 30 years of teaching, and it's been 35 years. So that's your first challenge. Did he become principal and he's going for a 40-year pension?
I present to you, sir, the teacher shortage of 2022. There's a reason they got to get him back in schools, because he's part of the new Bring Out the Old Geezers program.
Yeah, or like maybe like he's broke now, like he some kind of like, Bitcoin bubble popped, and now he has to get money. So he has to do the one thing he's good at. He's got to go back to teaching, and it's going to kill him. And
oh my God, he would be a loser.
But he's still with Kirstie Alley, right?
That's
no,
tough...
because they have to get back together. She's the principal, right? Because now she's the principal.
Oh, fuck, that's even better.
That he's going to work there. And then it's a love-hate thing again. And it just gets
I like that.
Tony Goggles, I'm telling you, there's no fucking situation.
So you're hitting me with a little George Clooney, Julia Roberts thing.
Yeah.
Why not? Let's do it.
Totally. Fuck me, that's good.
I like that.
So they're
like
and then
where
maybe the kids are like so unruly that he has to bring in Chainsaw and
Dave.
Yeah, they come in the house.
Nice. Okay, yeah, I like that. That would
be
kind of cool.
But you got to bring in Chainsaw and Dave for sure. I mean,
that'd
like,
cool.
yeah.
I would love to have
the
cameos with everybody.
Is now you also have a new group though of for a screenwriting standpoint of the kids. Now you get to bring in a little bit of School of Rock. You get a little bit of each kid has their own kind of little arc thing, but.
And now Courtney Thorne Smith and Shoop can date.
No, but that's the other thing too. Though. You would have a very different group for Mark Harmon to deal with, though, because now you got to think of it in 2022 standards. Yeah. They're going to be emotionally damaged kids. There's going to have a lot of they actually need more guidance, and so he thinks it's going to be like Summer School of '88.
Yeah.
No, it's Summer School of 22, and now you got to actually work as a teacher. You got to actually commit.
Yeah, the kids have no fucking attention span now and stuff.
Yeah, like
he's different.
He thinks they're cool. He's like, I'll show him Texas as a Massacre like we did. And then all the kids are offended and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Oh my God, what am I doing? How do I get away with this? So he tries.
One kid doesn't come back, and their parents says they have PTSD.
They were triggered,
traumatized.
I mean, literally, which would be hilarious because he does think it's going to be like back in the day, like, oh, I can do this. No, you can't. You actually got to try, which is an even better message in a weird way.
Right, like
every time a chainsaw fires up, the kid goes hiding under his bed.
He hears like the landscaper outside with the weed whacker.
And he stays in the bathroom. And he stays in the bathroom.
It would be hilarious too to actually have him show Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, because they showed one,
or the remake,
first one,
and
then the one kid who pays attention to it is like, I mean, I don't know. This sequel was like after the fact. I mean, like, they waited a whole 7 years. Like,
no, Mickey's right. You'd have to show the remake. That would even be better.
Well,
show the Jessica Biel version.
Jessica Biel? Isn't that Justin Timberlake's wife?
Because he's like dressed like a woman for half of it. You know what I mean? In the first one. So you could be like, oh, gender identities. You bring that into it. That's a modern thing.
I think that would.
You would definitely. I mean, like, if a studio's doing this, they're gonna be like, you need to have a transgender kid. You need to have it, and I'm not saying that's like a good thing or a bad thing per se, but like they're just gonna be like, you also need to have a kid named Podcast who podcasts all the time.
Yeah, you have to have a podcast.
Yeah.
You have a social media influencer
Yeah.
You know, you have a blah blah blah. Like these are the stereotype kids of today,
Right.
and
that
they
would be
don't
probably
really
something
do that.
they do. Like
Say
they
it again?
learn through all that crap, you know what I mean? And he learned, you know what I mean? Like they would be like, all right, let's do it instead of showing the movie or writing letters to get sunglasses and stuff. They would be writing to help them with their podcast and help them with
Yeah.
Or get more
their video.
followers. Get more followers.
Yeah, stuff
Yeah.
like that.
So
You
I think
know,
it's
if you
cool.
tweet,
This movie just
if you
sucked.
tweet at Cool Dude Inc. correctly,
Yeah.
you will get action.
Yeah.
Yeah, there does need to be a little bit of that for sure. It's a fine line of like pandering to shit that'll be outdated in 5 years anyways.
Right.
Because like that's the interesting thing about the original Summer School is those kids aren't stereotypes. It's not like, okay, horror kids, we've seen that in movies before. Like, no, we haven't. Like, oh, like pregnant girl, that wasn't really a stereotype for these kind of movies. It was maybe a stereotype for after school specials.
Right.
You never saw that. Like I didn't get I didn't even get that concept when I watched the movie originally. I didn't get the concept of like, you know, what, like a teenage mom, like that, you know, like that's a thing. Like I was
mean, it literally was
yeah,
like,
Mickey, you may want to contact some of the women you dated back in the day.
but that's the interesting part. I mean, Summer School was a movie that wasn't, you know, the difference between, you know, movies like comedies today and comedies then. There wasn't a reason for it to be. It just we needed a location. You know, the 80s was basically like, what's a location we can make funny? You know, it's like Animal House set up the standard. Okay, this was college, you know, fraternities. All right, what's the next thing you do? Bachelor party. Okay, great. Everything happens at a bachelor party. Or Porky's. Okay, everything happens in high school. You know, like it was just a location thing.
Well, my question is, were this around the same time as like Stand and Deliver, Lean on Me? Were, like,
yeah.
It was, and that was part of it. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
totally.
The Principal came later.
Yeah, the Principal's the best one.
Oh my God,
oh, dude,
Tony,
fucking Louis Gossett Jr.
I love that movie, man. I had a poster of that on my wall when I was a kid.
Yeah,
that movie's the shit. Like, I still want, like, of all the coolest movie like rides ever, like the bike from The Principal is in like my top 10 for sure. Like, you have a couple Batmobiles, like Back to the Future car, you know, the Tango and Cash truck, and like somewhere in there is that fucking bike, El Principal. Like,
oh yeah, because everyone's gonna, oh man, the bike from The Principal.
It's personal to me, goddammit. It's like the grandpa's caddy from License to Drive.
Hey, what's that? I don't want to hear anything from you but suck and win.
So I'll be taking selfies with this thing, like,
but honestly, that would be getting, you know, a guy like Mark Harmon who's stuck in the 80s, is stuck in his ways, to be thrown into this new era. You know, there's so much you could do from a story from there.
It's almost
it would
like
be
a
so awesome.
Scenario.
It would be so awesome if you can get Mark Harmon. If
and,
Mark Harmon can do it.
I'd be okay with it coming back as a series. I would.
Well, and in a weird way, he also gets to get them, to be honest, like lighten up a bit. You know, like we need a little bit of the 1988 teacher to be like, hey, okay, I get it, but like, relax, you know, calm down. Hey, why don't you just enjoy this? Like, let's have some fun. You know, you need that teacher. So it honestly is almost like a really cool marriage of, you know, generations, like to kind of come
together. It could be an
way.
Interesting spin on the bribe situation too. Like, he's like, I'll do these bribes for you, but you all have to do me a favor, and like, you can't tweet about them, you can't Facebook them, like, you know, not that there's anything wrong with the bribes or whatever, but he's just like, you have to like learn to enjoy something in your life without like digitizing it and social mediaizing, you know, without being your own paparazzi.
You wouldn't be able to do that nowadays. Like,
the bribe, the bribe thing's out.
The bribes are out. Come on, that's a crucial part. That's the driving force of the movie.
In the 88, you could. I'm telling you right now, the bribes are out.
I'm just saying, like, with like, you know, like if he wouldn't even have to have that. I mean, he'd have to have that conversation, but at the same token, it's like one of those bribes shows up online and like literally he's in jail the next day.
Well, that could be the third act. That's the third act. One of them does end up online. He gets in trouble. Now the kids have to come together to get him out of jail or to prove that he was a good teacher. That's you just came up with the ending of the movie right there.
There you go.
Tony, you're a fucking genius.
I know. You keep telling me that, I'm going to start believing it.
Let's go. Let's see what the live chat says, because I know there's some pitches here. I see Gold's Code has a pitch.
All right.
So pitch, Chainsaw hasn't worked in years, but due to budget cuts, Principal Shoop hires him to teach film in summer school. Expect cameos, laughs, and some life lessons. Fuck me.
That could absolutely be
Yeah,
like
that's a
part of
good
the
one.
B storyline. You absolutely, and I'm a film
Yeah.
teacher in high school, so
Yeah.
I mean it's believable, like
It's totally
Oh my
believable.
God, yeah. You
Chainsaw and
could have
Dave
it.
could totally be like teachers, film school.
But would you have to go to summer school for film? Like, are you that bad? Actually, I know some filmmakers who should go to summer school. For film,
I-
so
Well, you
never
know
mind.
what?
it's just film. I mean, summer school is just for you to
It
kind of
could
help with
be
it.
It could be like a summer film program, like a nice thing, not like a
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
punishment, but like
Yeah.
a
You
actually
privilege to
signed
get
up
into
for
this
it.
thing.
You
Oh,
signed
yeah.
up
Film
for it or
nerds go
something.
to it and stuff like that.
Oh,
And
yeah.
that could be the running B story to the whole movie or whatever, or
Oh, you could totally do that. Like,
Oh,
like
this would be great. All right, we're gonna turn this into a found footage movie.
No.
So it's all told through the lens of the summer school students who are in films.
It's all told through Instagram stories.
I could hear
Ugh.
our audience sigh through the computer. Like we
but
all
that would be awesome if like their grade, like the end grade was they had to make their own short movie. And
Oh,
you could
yeah.
like, that would be kind of awesome. And then you would get that, and then they would throw it on Instagram or whatever case they be.
Yeah.
Whatever
Or
their
they
short
go,
movie.
like,
YouTube. They
The
would show it on
kids go to
YouTube.
the film kids because, again, like you're the thing you said about he has to go to jail. So they go to them so they can produce really good content. You know what I mean? And that's what they make. The
Yeah.
video to
And
show how
that's
great
what
he
they
is.
and that's what they show to their parents to show what a good teacher
Exactly.
he is. Hey, let's get all this equipment together. Let's like rock this out, and they create
But it
this.
has to be better than just your average Instagram.
Oh, yeah,
story.
yeah.
People have to
Yeah.
like, we got to make this the biggest and the best. And like, who can help us? And it cuts to the film nerds sitting there, like, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, I'm liking this. I'm
then we
loving
get an awesome
this.
filmmaking montage.
Shit. You know something? I had a
And a
feeling
great
this might-
soundtrack song.
Yeah, it has to be the song from the first one. What the fuck when they're taking the test? What the hell's this?
Oh,
song?
Mind Over Matter by E.G.
Mind Over
Daily.
Matter.
That's
Oh my
Dottie.
God, such a great song.
Dottie, yep.
So great.
Oh,
and there's a music
give me
video
E.G.
of it
Daily
too.
any
I
day.
lost my virginity to that song.
Oh my God, you're a hero. We're definitely not worthy.
I'm kidding.
I also shout out when we're talking to soundtrack songs.
Mine was
Somewhere-
Indian Mom Scene.
Somewhere in this world, E.G. Daily just kind of, huh?
Oh, first of all, I know she's watching, and Ms. Daly, we absolutely love you and adore you. Pee-wee's Big Adventure, Rugrats, Valley Girl, you are a hero. Come on VCR and tell us all about it one day. So there's another pitch in there, which again,
I think he lost his to Corn.
No, Ingve Malmsteen.
oh my
It's
God.
I lost mine so fast the CD didn't even start playing yet.
Yeah, I lost mine so fast. It was during one of those EMS test warnings on the TV. And I made it about like a third of the way through the test signal.
Now he
And then,
comes
no.
every time he hears it. Anytime he hears it on TV, he goes, "Ah!" and then he forgets who he is for a half hour.
Oh my God. So I want to.
You should see this motherfucker every time a microwave goes off.
Oh my God. Like I'm just thinking of fucking Orgasmo. Like,
Oh, yeah.
or Blank Man. Or Blank.
Oh yeah, Blank Man. He used
Blank
to come all
Man.
the time.
Oh yeah. Ah, what's happening?
Kids movie. Yeah, that was
What's happening?
He got
Take
it
five.
constantly.
My electronics. So I do want to double back a little bit while we're talking while we were closely talking about the summer school soundtrack. Back to the days when fucking Danny Elfman would do these title tracks for movies. And he did I guess it's not a title track, but it plays over the opening credits.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Happy by Oingo Boingo.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
fucking
Yeah.
great. It's Oingo Boingo was just such a fucking amazing band. And
Dead Man's Party. Oh,
Yeah, because that's in
Oh.
Back to School.
Yeah,
To
that's in
School
Back
and
to
Summer
School.
Yeah.
They're above. He
Yeah.
only
and they're
did
playing it
movies
at the party,
schools.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God, yeah, I know. Say hello to my nieces.
He did Bachelor Party, the theme song for
Ah.
Bachelor Party.
They did?
Yeah, they had a great soundtrack if you can find Bachelor Party.
That's how
But
he
I
got the
do-
job for Batman. Tim Burton saw Bachelor Party. He's like, this is the guy.
I gotta get
This
this
is the guy
yeah.
I need for Batman.
So,
like Tim, he also did like summer school. He's like, oh, that's even more
Yo.
of a reason. Let's get him.
so there are some more pitches in the chat. I see Gold's Code as a pitch. Larry opens a strip club but lacks the reading skills to understand the contract. He turns to his old summer school friends to help him run it with a cameo by Shoop. I mean, I would absolutely watch that too. You could spin off any character from summer school, like even the guy who went to the fucking bathroom for 6 weeks. And I would watch it.
But Larry wasn't actually like unintelligent. He was just sleepy because he was always like up all night. So like
the computer. Oh, right.
Till his
never-
mom touched his dick.
Yeah.
Right? His mom and stuff touched his dick.
Man, that motherfucking
How about
put
the
20 bucks
sequel
in
to
my
Summer
G
School?
string.
It's a sequel to Summer School. It's just the therapy that him and his mom have to go through for the next
No,
from her
bro,
touching his dick at a strip club.
this is 2022. You know how this would work out.
What, he'd go to change some clothes in the dryer and get stuck, and he'd have to help her out.
Oh my god, shit. I'm losing it. Holy fuck. So there's another pitch in the chat by Alex Bonafonte. Alex's pitch: Chris, Mickey, and Ian are teachers in a school that will close this fall. They recruit their summer school students to help them grow weed.
Why did we close a school? Like what the hell?
It says they earn enough money to start their own agricultural college, and they all learn how to function without weed. I'm the only one who has yet to learn that lesson here on VCR Redux. Just for the record, I know some of our pitches seem a little harebrained at times, but that's usually probably my fault. And although Gold's Code in with the perfect tagline for that pitch: "School's out for good." Holy shit. Wow, the live chat is actually going a lot more wild than it normally does today. So I apologize to anyone if I miss a pitch in there. Alex Bonafide say Oingo Boingo split up. Now you can only see Oingo or Boingo, not both.
And Danny Elfman got buff too.
Yeah. There's two types of people in the world.
He's a rip.
There's
He's
Oingo
a
people
ripped.
and there's Oingo people. Okay.
Yeah. Danny Elfman is like, if you ever see Danny Elfman, like he's got more muscles than Vince McMahon. I mean, it's like that guy's ripped.
Oh, for some reason I pictured Ed McMahon. I was like, I was like, geez. So that motherfucker's stronger than Ed McMahon.
Oh my god, that's a mashup that I need. Holy shit.
Yeah, you need that.
Hey-o.
Oh, wouldn't it be?
Hey-o.
Listen, I just thought about like
You
something
are correct,
genius. On a side note, a theme song made by Danny Elfman and Kenny Loggins.
Oh,
that'd be gold. And John Parr. I need
You just
John
made
Parr.
every 80s person just like googe in their pants. Like
Well,
that.
John, yeah, oh my god, that would be like epic.
No, I got an even better part of that. Underscored by Harold Faltmeyer.
Oh, fuck
Ooh,
my
yeah.
cock. That sounds delicious.
That was
I'm
the most
there.
disgusting thing I've ever heard in my life. What is the matter with you?
It's a David Wayne thing. You just have to say "fuck my cock" every now and again. in
No,
life.
you don't. You don't have to say that at all, ever. You don't even have to utter it. You don't have to think about it. Good
Go
God.
back to that emergency broadcast system.
I'm telling you, it's the
Nobody
best line in Wet
beep
Hot
him
American
out
Summer.
or anything.
So-
Beep or-
So getting back to summer school, in case this gets stretched out into a series, because I love what we're talking about.
no.
How do you take every character and roll their lives forward 35 years? What is Larry doing now? Does he own his own chain of strip clubs? Is he still dancing? Is he the silver fox at Chippendales? Like,
No,
I
he probably
told
owns.
you what I think. I think he's in therapy with his mom.
oh, therapy with the mom. That's great. Still.
He can't trust women now and stuff like that. I don't know.
Maybe, but he ended up like didn't he end up with Shawnee Smith? No, the jock did.
Patrick
Yeah,
Labateau
Jock
wound
and
up with Shawnee
whatever,
Smith.
He ended up with a microphone
But
in the
I'm still
closet,
convinced
in a red
she-
shirt in a band with a Prince
She,
poster.
Rhonda, I'm still convinced Rhonda left Kevin. Rhonda left Kevin once David Lee Roth got off tour because she wasn't going to upset Madonna. And I think it was David Lee Roth. And then they go on an adventure searching for their baby because she gave it up for adoption.
Oh my god!
She's
Wow, that's fun.
she's now
The baby, they had a miscarriage and the baby died. Okay, and then stay with me. This is a comedy.
She did.
Now
No, she did put the baby up for
and goes to heaven,
adoption.
and now she's trying to find the baby.
She
that
did
died.
put the baby up for adoption. Did she
Yeah, she
not?
put the baby up for adoption. Yeah.
Yeah. So
They want to
gotta go.
reconnect with the baby.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Tony forgot that part. He's like,
Yeah, I
he's
did.
like, oh, I didn't even know that.
But-
I forgot
Yeah,
about
yeah.
that.
she is now in a cover band called Cover Girl, where she does Madonna. You know, she does a Madonna.
Oh.
You know, she does a Madonna cover band. The kid comes back to find her.
She walks right up to David Lee Roth and she says, "Open your heart to me. I'll be your lucky star."
You went too
no.
far. You went too far. There was a line, you crossed it.
There's a line, it's been obliterated. All right, we're in reality, we're at Chainsaw and Dave because in my mind,
I think that what we talked about, the film school
they're
thing.
teaching,
Yeah,
right?
or
So
they're- I
Dave
think-
comes too.
Doing special effects.
But because
Well,
okay,
one could be doing special effects and the other one could be doing film
Directing. Okay.
there's gonna be some because there's gonna be some
they're
people that are gonna come to this who maybe remember a little bit of summer school, but like Chainsaw's the guy that you remember.
Oh,
All the,
definitely.
so like he definitely has to be in the movie. Some of the
I
others
feel like
might,
all the pretty much all of them you remember. Like you remember Ekian, you remember
yeah.
Adriana
I forgot
Mazzarelli.
about the jock until you just mentioned him. I forgot about him.
Mhm.
Well,
Because what
Patrick
was his big
Labito
story? His
reteamed.
dad, right?
He's worked with Dean Cameron a couple times actually. They did a thing called Prince of Bel Air, and then they worked together in Ski School.
Yeah,
yeah,
School,
yeah.
Which again,
Ski School.
the thing, like everyone knows, like Keith Coogan has his like babysitting movies. People are sleeping on like Dean Cameron being like the school movies guy.
Oh yeah.
Summer School, Ski School, Ski School 2. Like we need to like also get him like another school franchise.
There was a
as
Ski
well.
Schools too.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god, you kidding me? It's like the fucking Terminator 2 of the Ski School
And you
franchise.
teach film?
I didn't know there was a Ski School. I know. I feel ashamed. I should know that there's a Ski School too.
What
I knew
about
Ski
Summer
School. but
Ski School?
I know Ski Patrol.
The
No,
Ultimate
Summer
franchise
Ski School.
crossover.
That's a combination of both films. The
Well,
crossover.
wait,
would be
well,
on it.
remember
Look,
they went to
Summer
the
Ski
water
School?
park.
In
Remember they-
Oregon, there is fucking snow on the mountain even in
Look,
August.
Remember
They-
they went to the water park. Maybe that whole thing is now they go to the ski slopes or whatever that.
They brought out Meatballs for Meatballs to
Like-
the Rescue, and I stopped. All right, that was my. Couldn't do any better than that.
Wait,
What
is
are
there
they-
I mean,
more
do you want a pat on the
Meatballs?
back? They also
Yeah,
stopped
Meatballs
after
4, Meatballs to
4.
the Rescue with Corey.
No, I know
Feldman.
that one, but they didn't make any. There's no Meatballs 5, right?
No, unfortunately, no.
Yeah, so what do you want a pat on the back for not watching a Meatballs 5 that wasn't made? I don't get it. You're like, I stopped. I
stopped watching
strength.
No,
Meatball
I'm just
movies after
saying,
4.
like, I'm just
I
saying,
won't
like,
even eat meatballs.
That was
anymore.
like
Stop
that-
watching Meatballs movies after they decided to
saying,
not
that
make
was-
any more Meatballs movies.
that was the mecca, and it's like you couldn't do better than that. So I just stopped with all those kind of movies. Right? There was that
Oh.
period, and that's
Well,
No,
good
well,
for
that's
you.
a-
They didn't do another one.
Yeah.
I mean, if there's Meatballs 5, I mean, I'm gonna be there. Let's be.
I know. We've
Like,
we've
let's
talked
not.
about this. I know how much you want there to be a Meatballs 5, truly
Ugh.
in the bottom of your heart.
Ugh.
And
has
I
to
do
be.
too. I honestly do, because one film deserves to be made with the intention of being a fucking Meatballs sequel, as opposed to every one that we got, which was then had the title changed to Meatballs insert number at the last minute.
It is true. That's a true
Meatballs
story.
insert number. Is that the full title? I like that.
No, but like
Seriously,
the
just
second
insert number
film.
here.
Second film was called Happy Campers or Unhappy Campers, and they changed the title at the last minute. We're actually going to call
Meatballs
it Meatballs
Part
2
2.
because
Oh,
it'll
really?
go
I
on
didn't
the,
know
on the
that.
shelf next to
Yeah,
that.
they were all
and
they
it'll
were
make
all
money.
just
Yeah.
they were all just they bought the
Meatballs
title.
3 was a movie called My Summer Job with Patrick Dempsey, and they changed the
Ah.
title last minute. And they're like, actually, if we call it Meatballs 3, this piece of shit movie might make a little money back. Like,
Yeah.
Oh, I
and
didn't
the
know
same
that.
thing with Meatballs 4. It's amazing. The only
Meatballs-
franchise that has fucking only accidental sequels.
Right.
Yeah, like Meatballs.
Somebody
Meatballs
discovering
4 was-
Meatball 1. Somebody discovering Meatball 1 on the racks and going like,
But you know
they
what?
made a 2?
That's
Oh, I'm gonna
right.
get that. Oh, and there's a 3?
That was me, Mickey.
I'm gonna get
Me
that.
too.
I was that guy. Come on, it
Dude,
worked.
I
man.
loved Meatballs 2 growing up. That was like one of my
Yeah.
favorite movies.
It was better.
Same
It
for
was better.
3, same for 4.
It's
like
for
they're all
free
great.
on Cackle, people. Go
Yeah.
stream
I
it
own. I have
now.
it on VHS.
It's
Crackle.
Yeah.
Crackle, Ian.
What did I say?
Cackle.
Whatever. The point is,
Ian's at his house drinking Mountain Lion Cola, eating Crackle Crunch,
He's got meatballs.
having a fucking
background.
Egg McMahon for breakfast.
While his beard is blowing in that wind in his background.
Oh, he
I'm
does
on the
look like-
beach. I'm on the beach, man.
He does look like a man in paradise. Well, shit.
Shit.
We're almost out of fucking time, but I feel like we actually teed this up pretty goddamn well. There may be a character.
I honestly would watch this. Like, this would
Yeah,
actually
I
be a
totally
really
would.
good. And I think Mark Harmon, if it was done the way we talked about, I actually think Mark Harmon would be interested.
Yeah. Somewhere out there, he's like, counting his money and going like,
Yeah.
this guy Ian thinks he's got a good sequel for the. You know what? I'm gonna put this money on the side here, and I'm gonna go do this little
Mickey,
movie.
somebody once was like, a story about a World War I soldier crashed an airplane and then got, saved by this nurse, was like, that's a terrible. Oh, wait, that could make money. The English Patient.
Oh my God. All right, English
Wow.
Patient 2.
It didn't make money, bro.
How about English
Didn't make
Patient
money.
2?
The audacity of you. The audacity, sir.
Do you think
Tony's
people
ready.
really
Tony's ready to
remember
go for an English Patient
I
2.
don't. I really don't think anybody remembers that movie.
I love that movie.
How about ask your chat people if anybody really remembers that movie? I'm just honestly wondering because my best friend loved that movie when it came out, and I just couldn't. He had like the poster on his wall. He had all the action figures. I
Yeah.
was like, dude,
Action figures? English
you don't have
Patient?
the English Patient. He had a lunchbox with a fucking picture on thermos. His English Patient thermos.
Dude, yeah,
The
fucking
Band-Aids
English
with the
Patient.
English Patient.
English
that
Patient, the
person Ian?
flamethrower. The kids love this one.
That's right.
Yeah,
It came
yeah.
it came with a free can of peaches.
We are almost out of time, but before we wrap things up, guys, do you have anything coming up in the works you want to let people know about? Tony, any videos coming out soon or films you're working on? Anything you can tease us with?
Not really. I guess just High Fear, an anthology movie I did doing the festivals now, and I heard it just got picked up by Wild Eye Releasing, so that should be coming out soon.
Nice.
So check that out. That's about it. I got some music videos coming out. Just keep checking in on DI and the word Y, WHY, films.com. I update that regularly with all
Awesome.
my crap.
Absolutely. And don't be
Congrats.
afraid to skate the back catalog, folks, because there is just fucking fire in there. It's amazing. Mickey, Ian, anything coming up in the works for you guys? No recordings, no plays, no your film Anybody's Blues and going to any festivals or anything right now?
Haven't sent it out. Haven't heard anything back yet, but we shall soon. And
Well, I suspect that
school
one
starts next week, so this is the final week
man.
of summer.
already.
enjoy it.
What a bummer.
Yeah.
Fuck. Glad we got this episode in when we did then.
Yeah, it's all serious moving forward.
Well, I suspect there'll
As
be
serious as the English Patient.
I suspect there'll be a lot more festivals for the both of you gentlemen in the near future, and hopefully me and Mickey can score some invites to some of these screenings.
Absolutely.
Nah.
Not Mickey. No. No.
Yeah.
That's all right. I'll give him one of my nice shirts to wear.
Ugh.
So anyway, you Fandom fans might want to come back next Wednesday at 9 p.m. when we pay homage to the greatest masterpiece in cinema history for our Showgirls 2 episode.
Oh,
As always,
God.
if there's a particular
Ugh.
movie or TV franchise that you want us to cover on a future episode, let us know in the comment section
Why
below.
do we do these terrible, terrible movies? Oh, good
Because
Lord.
these terrible movies are life, and that one particularly is just perfection.
Because
Anyway,
people like
since you
those
guys-
movies.
These,
Who likes
Showgirls-
Showgirl? Who likes Showgirl? All right,
I do.
Yo, first
I'm
of
in the
all,
wrong crowd for that question.
Showgirls
I mean, it's no
is a-
English Patient, but what is?
It's
That
a-
nothing could ever be the English.
20
Patient.
years from now, people will remember Showgirls and not the English Patient because Showgirls is a masterpiece of shit. And if you want to hear why,
The
you're going to have
saddest
to
part.
tune in next Wednesday at 9 p.m.
The saddest part is your statement is true. That's
And since you're already doing that, you Fandom Spotlight, the Hollow 9 Network, and Pop Culture Punk. And if you want to smash the like button on this video, that'd be pretty okay too. Till
we
then,
would enjoy that.
back up those Betamax, rewind those Laserdiscs, and we'll see you at the movies.